Well, ahoy there, cruisers,
and welcome back to another day on the P&O Cruises Iona, the brand new ship. And guess what?
It's your birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday!
Thank you so much.
To Ben.
Did you know, out of all of these cruises we've done, it's the first ever time I've been on a cruise ship on my birthday.
I know it is, yeah.
And it's our wedding anniversary as well. Married 7 days today.
Days?
7 years today.
Oh, days, it feels like years.
It feels like years, yes. 7 years today as well.
7 years ago.
Happy as. Right, we've got a great day in store of you. We're going to tell you all of the differences between British cruise lines like P&O and US cruise lines. When we say US cruise lines, we mean cruise lines like Norwegian and Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. We know they're not US cruise lines really officially, but you know what we mean.
US style.
Yeah, and there's some really big differences, so you're going to want to stick around to see what they are.
Plus, Ben, I've got a special surprise for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just for your birthday, I personally arranged a gigantic fireworks display tonight, just off the coast of Iona.
Isn't he lovely? So you're going to want to stick around for that. But first, breakfast. Should we go for some breakfast? Oh, and David's decorated our room during the night. When did you do that?
Happy birthday!
Oh my gosh, David, when did you do that?
In the night at 2 o'clock this morning.
That's nice. How lovely. Our hooks have came in handy as well. Look at that.
Yes.
So our little hooks and our magnets, make sure you get some of those. They're very handy for sticking things up as well. But
well, I know we were on Anthem of the Seas and we were talking about hooks, and I said, oh, these would be handy if you wanted to hang banners, and I thought, oh, that's a really good idea for Ben's upcoming birthday, so I brought all these with me, and I was hiding in the night.
Lovely?
I was awake and I could hear him snoring, so I was like, oh, I'll get up really quick and do it all.
Right, should we go for breakfast?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
I will tidy this up. So to kickstart our day, we've joined the virtual queue for the Aqua restaurant for breakfast, and I think we're being pinged right now.
So we've dashed down to the main dining room. We are a little bit late, as usual, because we did sleep in a little bit. It closes at 10 AM, which is quite good. It's quite late. We've seen some main dining rooms close at like 8:30, which is good. We've just been given the menu, so we're going to get some coffee. So I've been given 42 different knives and forks. I'm not sure what he thinks I'm going to be eating today.
Ben.
I'm only getting eggs Benedict.
Ben, just start on the outside and work your way in. Remember Titanic?
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Outside in. So we just got some toast, and I actually thought it was, do you know, like the toy plastic toast? Because it's actually freezing cold, like almost, like feels like it's been chilled in the chiller.
There's no butter on the table either, so I don't know what. Very strange.
What's this? That's sugar.
Not actually kidding you, I could use this as a weapon.
So I got avocado on toast, and thank God I'm not hungry because it's a little diddy portion.
It's tiny. And you also got some
poached eggs on the side as well. So I'm going to salt the eggs first.
Oh, salty eggs.
You know how I like a salty egg? It's okay actually. It's actually quite nice. It's got chilli on the top and lime. It's actually really flavourful.
Oh, nice.
It's just very small, so I'd probably get 2 next time.
And I got eggs Benedict, and it actually looks really nice. Let's have a little taste. A little bit cold. It's not very hot, but hey, what can you do about it? But it tastes really good.
Yes, that was pretty good. It's a solid main dining room breakfast. A couple of the items came cold and the service was a little bit slower, but this is the Maiden, so I guess they are still working things out. Right, now, should we head off? I'm going to tell you all the differences between a British and an American cruise line.
We've came around the Promenade for a lovely walk around just because it is so sunny today. It's a little bit windy and chilly, but it's really lovely. It feels really busy out here, even though the ship's only half full. So do bear in mind, on the port side towards the back, there is a smoking area just below the cabins, and we've had lots of complaints from people who are in the cabins on deck 9s and above, saying that the smoke's coming into their cabin. Absolutely no idea why they've done this. They should have put it on a top deck or at the back so it can go off the back of the ship, so do bear this in mind. And also we've noticed that on some of the cabins on deck 8, the things we complained about in our ship tour, for some reason P&O have chosen to put seats right in front of people's cabins, so right directly touching the glass front. Why they've done this, I don't know. Very, very strange, isn't it, David?
Yeah, I'd hear that.
What a strange tradition, but these are things that might change in the future because this is the Maiden cruise, so they need to learn lots of things that are not quite right.
It's nice just to have a wander around the ship, around the outdoor decks. That's one nice thing, there's a lot of outdoor space. So obviously you've got the promenade downstairs, But then you've got all up here as well at the top, so there's lots and lots of outdoor space up here.
And that also brings us nicely to one of the major differences between UK and US cruise lines. The Brits love their sun. For example, it is 12 degrees today. That's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and every single sunbed is taken. They like to reserve sunbeds early in the morning. That's why you see so many on British ships. It's crazy. It's a European thing, and it's because we don't get enough sun. So when the sun does come out, everybody goes for it. All of the pool areas are full. It's absolutely crazy. I am freezing. I could do with a heavy jacket. It's so cold today. Don't be deceived by the lovely sunshine. Really funny, but yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest differences, isn't it, David?
Yeah, you'll see people laid out in the sun with a blanket on them.
Yeah, whatever the weather, whatever the temperature.
These people are crazy. The pool's not even hot. No, I'm not getting in there. I'll have a hot tub, thanks. God, just look how busy it is. You think it would be 40 degrees in the Caribbean sunshine, wouldn't you?
So one thing super interesting about this ship in particular, Iona, is that she is an LNG ship. Now this type of fuel isn't perfect whatsoever, but it's much better. And can we say that it is so much quieter and so much cleaner? There's nothing coming out of the smokestack at all. We haven't seen anything, no nasty odours, no nasty soot around the ship. It's really wonderful and one of the great things. And it's the first LNG powered ship for any British cruise line. So good job, P&O, really thumbs up. It smells so much better. You can smell that fresh sea air instead of the soot. Not that you can smell it really badly on other ships, but it's just an observation that we've noticed. Let's talk about the ships themselves. Now there is some differences. Iona is definitely the exception, but most cruise ships in British fleets are quite old. For example, from Umbrella Cruises, which is a British cruise line, lots of the ships are actually older celebrity ships and Royal Caribbean ships. But things are changing with cruise lines such as P&O, brand new ships like Britannia and Iona, which is great to see, as well as Saga Cruises, so Saga Holidays. They have 2 brand new ships. And this is a strange one for British cruise lines as well, and cruising in general, because it's a cruise line for over 50s only. So if you are under 50, you can't go on board, which is so unusual. So they've got cruise lines here designed for the older generation. Now, one thing that you don't tend to find on British cruise ships is big things like water slides, climbing walls, go-karts, ice skating, dodgems, all that sort of jazz. So we do recommend American Cruise Lines if you have kids, because they are so fantastic. The kids clubs are so much better on board those ships on the American cruise lines like Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Princess, Carnival, all those sort of cruise lines, with so much more to do in entertainment during the day.
So what about the dress code on UK cruises? Well, it's very similar to American cruise lines. During the day you can wear pretty much whatever you want, and you will usually find that Brits will wear shorts and t-shirt even if it's freezing outside. On a night, things are smart casual, but generally British cruise lines, people do tend to dress up a little bit more, and especially on formal nights. We do take formal nights really seriously, and you will see most people dressing up in a full tux and a nice dress. But things are changing. More and more cruise lines are becoming smart casual, less formal. So as the younger generation do start to cruise more, the dress code is getting a lot more relaxed. The exception to this, of course, is Cunard, which is a very traditional cruise line. Even on their informal evenings, the dress code is still quite strict. But just before we pop down to the cinema, let's tell you who's on these ships. Well, it seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? It's mainly British people. So I'd say 99.9% of people are Brits. And they do tend to be a lot older, so you'll find an older generation on board. It is changing though slightly, like Ben said, Iona and P&O do seem to be trying to attract a slightly younger generation. Now let's go down to the cinema to tell you all about the entertainment.
Got our coffees for our cinema experience, don't we, David?
Advertising Costa again.
I know, hashtag not sponsored. But Costa, if you do want to sponsor us, hit us up. Just kidding.
And for any Americans, Costa is like the Starbucks of the UK.
Oh yes, that's another difference.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that as well. So yeah, tea and coffee on cruise ships
are a big deal.
Yes, especially tea on British cruise ships. You're only going to get the best of teas, so things like PG Tips, Yorkshire tea. Coffee is Costa, not Starbucks.
Yep.
All of that sort of jazz. So there is little differences here and now, and it's just all part of the British experience, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So you'll just find like local, slightly different local tastes, I think. you know, things like you'll find Marmite and HP sauce in the buffet and things like that. So just small differences.
Yeah, vinegar with chips.
Vinegar. Oh,
Lots of salt and pepper on everything.
Salt as well. Oh, making me hungry.
Right, let's go to the cinema.
So entertainment on UK cruise lines. Well, it's very similar to US cruise lines. You get lots of daytime activities. We love quizzes and games and things like that. And then on a night, there's live music, bingo and shows in the theatre. Unlike US cruise lines, none of the UK cruise lines have West End productions, so none of them will have Jersey Boys or We'll Rock You. It's all original productions. And they do tend to lean more towards British music. And then the comedy, it's a lot more British humour, so it's a lot more sarcastic than the US lines. And one thing we love on this ship is that it's got a cinema, so we're going to go and see a movie. We're going to go and see Wonder Woman. I'm going to go and grab our seats now.
Let's go. I'm excited. I love a cinema on board, do you?
I do. Yeah, it's one thing we really love to do. I know some people, I said it in our tour, some people say, why would you want to go and see a cinema on a cruise ship? But we love it. And it's been nearly 2 years since we last went to a cinema, so we're making the most of it on this ship.
Oh, here we go. Movie time.
Oh, the film's about to start. Showtime.
Oh, such a good movie. I love Gal Gadot. Definitely recommend that film. It's a really good film. Right, I'm getting a little bit hungry now. I need something for my tummy. So should we go get some lunch, David?
Let's go for a very British lunch, Ben.
Oh yes, we're going to go up to the Keys, which is a really cool quick service 3-part restaurant with 3 different booths. So you've got a fish and chip restaurant, an Asian restaurant and an American diner. And we're going to try some fish and chips, aren't we?
We are. Let's
go. Let's go try some fish and chips. Very, very British indeed.
So I got the vegetarian sweet and sour noodle bowl, which is very hot.
Yeah, it's so lovely and it's complimentary, so it's included in the price of your cruise, which is really fantastic as well. Really tasty. I don't usually like fish, but I like white fish and cod and haddock, and this is cod, and it's absolutely wonderful. And it even comes with mushy peas. Now, how British can you get? So yummy. Really, really delicious. Usually, if the weather was a little bit nicer, it's a bit chilly today, you can actually eat outside on the promenade, which is really lovely. I guess it's a great time to talk about the food on board compared to American cruise lines. Well, you might not be surprised, but it's not that different really. There's just slight differences here and there. There's specialty dining on board, there's main dining rooms on board, a buffet, quick service, very similar to American lines. The food does differ here and there, and obviously you're going to get more British selections, so obviously you'll get a British style breakfast rather than an American style breakfast. And there's usually a little bit more food on offer on the American cruise lines. You just see bigger buffets, more choice, more specialty dining and things like that. When it comes to drinks prices, drinks are usually actually cheaper on British cruise lines by quite a considerable amount. And you won't find as many drinks packages and things like this. They do exist, but they're not as big and as used as on American cruise lines. A beer here would cost around £4 to £5, a glass of wine about £6 or £7, and cocktails are also around £7 as well, or about $10, $12. So usually a little bit cheaper, but not that different. Ooh, so we are all ready for my birthday and our anniversary dinner at the Epicurean. Now this is the top scale restaurant on board. It's £28 per person. Do bear in mind, if you're on the first 2 nights, it's actually half price, isn't it? Yeah, we always get asked one thing, where did we meet? So should we tell everybody where we met, David?
Yes, absolutely.
So it was well over 10 years ago now. It was about 12 years ago we met. We met whilst at university. Well, not strictly. We went to the same university in a place called Sunderland in the northeast of the UK. We were both doing media studies.
Absolutely.
Hence why we do camera work and all of that jazz and stuff.
Yeah, Sunderland is a small rural town with rolling hills and beautiful sandy beaches.
It's really not. It's not the nicest place in the world. It
that
really
was
isn't.
the description in the book when I applied.
The closest major city is actually Newcastle in the northeast of England. But my sister actually worked in Subway, the sandwich shop, as a manager. And David, whilst at university, we hadn't actually met at uni. worked at Subway part-time as a sandwich artiste.
Sandwich artist,
A sandwich
guys.
artist.
Yes.
And one day I came in to see my sister after a night out on the town. It was actually Halloween. I was dressed as Elphaba from Wicked. So the Wicked Witch, all in green with a wig on and everything. And I met David for the first ever time.
But guys, that is not when I saw Ben and was like, oh,
This is it.
I like a bit of green witches in my life. No, actually, your sister had said, oh, you should meet my brother beforehand. But I was like, oh no, how rude, just because we're both gay doesn't mean that we're going to fall in love. But actually, I think it was you went out with my friends on a night out.
So I went out with my sister's friends for a night out and met David, and then
we had like mutual friends between us.
And then things just escalated and things blossomed and we fell in love. And 7 years we've been married now. We got married in Kent in England in a lovely, beautiful manor house. It was gorgeous. We had an amazing wedding day.
Yeah, we'll put up some photos here.
We popped some photos on, and here we are 7 years later on a cruise. As I said earlier on, it's the first time I've ever been on a cruise on my birthday. I think you have been before.
Princess, yeah. I was in my birthday on Princess, and they did like a whole...
I'm getting touched by the happy birthday sign. Can you believe David handmade this and did it at 2 o'clock in the morning in the bathroom? How funny is that?
Yeah, not on the... I'd made them at home, but I prepared it in the bathroom.
You didn't bring your printer. Could you imagine bringing the printer and the cutting machine?
I mean, what,
That's
7 years
the story
later,
of us,
really?
yeah. We moved down to London after university. I worked for Virgin as cabin crew. David got a job as a web designer. Yeah, and then that's basically the history of Ben and David, and here we are now, all these years later, making cruise videos. But it's time for dinner, because we're going to be late again. You know what we're like, guys. We're late every single bloody day, aren't we?
We are. Can I just give you one little fun fact as well from our wedding? Whereas you're saying like it's the first cruise. When we got married, it was the first same-sex marriage they had ever done at the registry office.
Oh, and fun fact, our honeymoon, if you already didn't know, was on a cruise as well. That was our first ever cruise on the Disney Magic back in 2014.
Photo here.
And 40-something cruises later we're here. But just before we go, we're going to give you one final comparison between British and American cruise lines. Here on British cruise lines, here in the cabin, the service is basically the same. The cabins are basically the same. But one vital piece of equipment that you are always going to find on a British cruise line, and they even put these on the American cruise lines when they're sailing Britain, don't they, David?
Yes,
or the
they
UK.
do.
What are they?
It is the kettle.
We have to have a kettle in our room so we can make a cup of tea in the morning or a cup of coffee. It's a vital piece of equipment, and it's something you'll always find, isn't it?
Absolutely. Most people around the world, the first thing they do when they open up their eyes is look at their phone. The first thing a British person does is look at their phone and pop on the kettle.
It's true. Right, let's go. Before we waste any more time, let's go for some lovely dinner. Our final dinner for the vlog here tonight. David, one final meal on board. How are you feeling? Are you upset to get off?
The Last Supper.
It's always bittersweet, isn't it?
It is. And that's just the sorbet.
Oh, he's a comedian as well.
Should be on the stage, shouldn't I?
So we're heading to the very front of the ship, and it's on deck 16. It's got some lovely views if we get a nice table.
Yeah, this is the only part of the ship that's a little bit hard to get to.
The corridors are really wide on the aisles of the cabins, aren't they?
Yeah, it's really strange. I wonder why they're so wide.
It's nice though, isn't it? It feels very spacious.
Yeah, you don't have to keep doing the old in and out, you know, when people are passing you.
Well, welcome to Epicurean for dinner. In our last episode, we were here for afternoon tea and it was fantastic, so we've got really high hopes. We've just popped our orders in with our waiter and we've been brought a bread course, so some lovely breads, and it comes with two different types of butter. We've got a Marmite butter and a regular butter, so Marmite butter.
I love Marmite.
Some people love Marmite, some people hate Marmite, but we'll see, we'll have a little taste.
I like Marmite on toast with good helpings of butter, so this sounds right up my alley.
It's Vegemite in the US, in Australia, isn't it?
It's a very subtle Marmite flavour, so you might like it, Ben.
Nice and salty. Well, it's a good helping of Marmite on there, so fingers crossed I do like. I actually don't mind Marmite, really. Sensations in my mouth, that's lovely. And as a pre-appetiser, I'm having the soup of the day, a Bloody Mary. Ooh, spicy, delicious.
Ben's just kidding. It's an amuse-bouche.
It's an amusing bouche.
It's an amusing bouche sent out by the chef
Or in the common tongue, amusing bush.
Yes, exactly. To get our taste buds ready to prepare for the meal.
Do you want to have a try? It's really spicy. You like a nice food. You've drank
it already.
I've already drank
mine.
it. It's gone.
I love Bloody Mary so much, I like downed it like a shot.
I didn't even see that. Wow, this looks spectacular. What beautiful presentation. It really reminds me of Wonderland. David was just saying that as well on Royal Caribbean. So for my starter, I've got something quite exotic. It's 24-hour cooked ox cheek, so it's like beef cheek, with a beef mayonnaise, with a parsley sponge. Now this looks very interesting, and it's served in an actual bone. I do not kid you, I am not a canine, I'm not a dog, but it is served in the bone, which is really cool. So I'm going to go in for a nice try. Look at that sponge, it's almost radioactive green. Oh. Oh my gosh, Gloria Estefan in my mouth. That is absolutely delicious. Oh, the beef mayonnaise is bizarre. It's really strong. It tastes a bit like horseradish, but really infused with the flavour. And those parsley sponges are like really super light. Absolutely wonderful. A really fabulous first dish. Very impressed. Your go now, David. Yours looks amazing.
It looks spectacular. 10 out of 10 for presentation, I do have to say. I'm going to have to read it off the menu to tell you what it is, because it's got quite a concoction. It's Alaskan snow crab, langoustine and salmon caviar with a cucumber mojito, which is the little shot on the side there.
Did he say with the Bacardi foam?
Yeah, it's got a little Bacardi foam on the top there.
Gosh, that's all types of fun in your mouth right there.
They saw me come in, so they thought they'd give me a shot. Right, should I tuck in?
Dig in.
That is wonderful. Ariel would be proud.
Oh, David. Why would Ariel be proud? Why would she be eating her fellow sea creatures?
That is really good.
Now, I'm dying for you to try the shot, David. Go on, do it. You don't use a spoon.
Pardon?
You don't use a spoon.
So I drink
it's
it.
a shot.
It tastes very healthy. It tastes like a cucumber smoothie. I think this shot will make up for the lack of exercise that I've had this week and the amount of cake and sweets that we've ate this week.
Did you just say extra fries?
I said exercise.
Oh. So our mains have came, David.
Yes, so we've got a selection of sides, so we decided to order all 4 sides between the two of us. And
For research purposes.
yeah, for the video. And I got the black cod with Canadian cold water lobster tail with a caviar. I don't know how you pronounce that. So I'm going to pour my sauce over.
Very classic. Oh, nicely done, David. Very chef-like.
Thank you very much. So this is the black cod. So let's give this a try. That sauce is really lovely. Nice creamy sauce and a nice fresh tasting lobster tail.
Lovely. I'm going to try mine now. Ooh, and mine looks magnificent. That is a big piece of pork right there. So I got the T-bone pork, which I haven't had before. And it's got some crispy crackling on top with a nice jus. Oh my gosh, it smells very appley and very wonderful. Right, let's get into this. This is a big piece of meat. That is so tender and delicious. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. The jus. Now, Americans, that is a proper French fry, a proper chip, as we call them here in the UK. We didn't mention that earlier on, all of the different names for things. So chips are fries for us, whereas chips are crisps. Very strange, lots of different technical words.
Yeah,
that are
elevator, lift, reception, guest services.
people mover, escalator, all of that stuff I've never tried. Ooh, hot tamale. Oh, they are absolutely wonderful. What an amazing meal for our birthday/anniversary, David.
Birthiversary.
Birthiversary. Right, I'm going to continue eating and enjoy every single last bite of this. I wish we were here to experience it as well.
I'm right
Well,
here.
not you, everybody else, but I was going to say that'd be a bit weird, like thousands of people sat around a table with us. Could you imagine? Would look a bit insane. I'm not sure what the other passengers would think. Yummy. Ooh, I feel like a giddy schoolgirl. We've just been brought a little lollipop as a pre-dessert before our actual desserts. Let's have a try. So it's a black currant lollipop and it's so cute, so pretty. Let's have a little try. Oh, it's frozen.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I wasn't expecting that. So it's an actual ice lolly, which is really cool and very British again. Ice lollies are a big thing here in the UK, which is just like an iced sweet,
Popsicle.
like a popsicle. Yeah.
My boy lollipop.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it tastes licorice. Oh my gosh, that is absolute. It's white chocolate, black currant, but it's really, really infused and oh, it's tasty as. Oh, that's really, really lovely. What a lovely little treat. So for my dessert, I've got a twist on a very British classic. It's called a Jaffa cake. Now, if you haven't heard of a Jaffa cake before, especially if you're in the US, it's basically like a cookie with orange in it, and it's absolutely delicious. It's like a mini cookie cake, and it came as a half moon, which is lovely. Let's have it. Oh, it looks so rich and delicious. Oh my God, it just exploded on my plate. Look at that, David. There's been an explosion. So that was a bubble a minute ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I exploded it. Let's have a taste. You smell the orange. It's very tart. Oh, it's delicious. I said I was full, but I've eaten it all. Total eclipse.
So I got a twist on another British classic. I got the apple crumble. It's very tart.
Is it delicious?
She's a tart apple. It's really delicious, actually. Nice crumbly top. And a lovely tart base.
Also got a cheese plate because David's not the biggest fans of desserts, and this thing is huge.
My gosh, I've got a buffet.
Is that a piece of Christmas cake on there, David?
It is. It's a piece of Christmas cake plonked on the top of my cheese plate. It's got a selection of European cheeses and another British classic, Ben.
Crackers and biscuits.
A digestive biscuit.
Which is a sweet biscuit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Or a sweet cookie.
But it goes really nice with cheese. I'm going to enjoy this. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
You are the weakest cheddar.
Goodbye. What a magnificent last meal on board. Very impressive indeed. We have loved it so much. Now we're going to pop to somewhere quiet just to sum up our cruise and give you some of the positives as well as the cons, because we like being truthful and open about this cruise. Should we go, David?
Let's go.
Let's go. And I was going to say let's go. I think I need rolling out. I'm very, very full indeed.
A bit like a wheel of cheese.
I think we need some sort of diet after this, David, where we just don't eat any food for a couple of days.
So we're just about to leave and they told us to sit down.
Sit down
we have
right
to
now.
eat more food. No, they didn't. They brought us some truffles to end the meal with.
I don't think I can handle it, David. I don't think I can do this.
And generally, the lovely waitress kept saying, "Are you sure I don't want another one? Are you positive? Are you really sure?" I was like, "Yes, honestly."
Is it good?
Very rich. Very sweet. And it's a little bit of chocolate heaven there.
So we popped outside to sum up our cruise. Honestly, overall, it's been fantastic, and what a maiden cruise it's been on Iona. The crew, first of all, have been absolutely fantastic, but that brings us to one of our cons. It's the IT on board and the app specifically. It's not really an app like we said in the last episode, it's a web page, and it just doesn't work. It makes life really hard for both the crew and the passengers. The next thing is the food, and it really has been fantastic. Both the included dining, which is included in your fare, as well as the specialty dining. Really fantastic waiters and crews. Again, the app hasn't helped with things. It's been a little bit harder to book, but apart from that, it's been really fantastic, hasn't it?
Definitely. A highlight for us has been the Olive Grove, which is a included restaurant, has been absolutely wonderful. Oh, and that meal in the Epicurean tonight was amazing.
So good. Next of all, the ship. The ship is absolutely beautiful, and it's fantastic to see an LNG ship in the UK. Honestly, she's great. She's just got one or two tiny little downfalls, like we've already mentioned. Deck 8 and the Promenade, the smoking area under the cabins, as well as those cabins on Deck 8 are a little bit of a concern, especially for us, because we like our privacy in a cabin, don't we? And especially on our balcony. Yeah, but other than that, that's it. I mean, there are tiny little niggles. Everything else has been superb. P&O have done such a fantastic job with everything else. And she's a beautiful ship, and we're sure thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to have fantastic holidays on board her. There's so much room to enjoy everything on this ship. So many different entertainment venues like the Sky Dome, the theatre. The shows have been superb. We've just had a really fantastic time, haven't we?
We have, and we've definitely ate our weight in chocolates and ice cream and all sorts of treats.
Just for you guys, because we're like that. We're very considerate, and we've done it all for research purposes. Now, let's rewind a few days to when we were in Iona. We saw some amazing fireworks, so we're going to take a look at that, and a very special dinner show that we did in the Limelight Club. We were treated to an amazing fireworks display off the coast of the island of Iona, the namesake of the ship we were on. On a previous night, we had a dinner show at the Limelight Club. It came with a 3-course meal and some fantastically hilarious entertainment from the amazing Le Voir. What an amazing show it was. We were also treated to British comedian Joe Pasquale, a fantastically funny show. Now we're going to have some entertainment for tonight. We're going to go see a show in the Sky Dome as well as Tony Hadley. He is from the amazing famous band. I forgot what it's called.
It's so famous.
What's it called again? What's it from?
Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
Spandau Ballet.
He's from the world famous 80s
So
band
famous, Ben's forgot the name.
Spandau Ballet. Now that's a huge band.
Gold.
Gold.
And
always believing.
I know this much is true. Bit of 80s throwback there.
So we're going to go see that, and then that's it for our cruise. We've had an amazing time, haven't we, David?
We have, so let's head up to the theatre now and get there like an Olympic gold medalist.
Oh gosh, let's go. Ticket for one. There were several different shows in the Sky Dome each evening, and they were really fantastic, featuring live music, aerialists, acrobatics and much more. And of course we went to see Tony Hadley. I remember now, Spandau Ballet, and it was a really fantastic show with some banging tunes.
Shame you can't dance, isn't it, really? Oh, I don't get too excited.
What an amazing day. I am absolutely knackered. Are you, David?
I am. I feel a little bit toasty. Did I get a little
You
bit
look a bit
sunburnt
toasty,
earlier?
yeah. The sun was shining earlier on. It was absolutely lovely when we were up on the top deck. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you joining us. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe as well. It really helps us create more content for you.
And if you'd like to give us a little bit of extra support, you can always join our Patreon. Quite a few people on the ship have asked what it is. You can find out about it all in the description section below. And in return of you subscribing for a couple of dollars a month, you get behind the scenes videos, postcards, plus a monthly live Zoom chat.
And what it means to you is that we can create more unbiased and honest content like this and sell fun trips so we don't have to rely on press trips. Join us next week when we're going to be on the magnificent Scarlet Lady again for a proper cruise with Virgin Voyages. So that's it till next time. Happy cruising!